Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have Assassin Zach with the Zonya's Hourglass eventually. But it is Canyon who is playing our favorite Blob. And all Zach mains will know, this is what you do level 1. If you do not do this level 1, stop playing Zach. This is the way. I didn't make the rules, but we all have to abide by them. I actually got Diamond for the first time way back when I started playing with Zach Jungle. So when he is strong, I have mixed feelings because I don't really play it much anymore. And at the moment, he is strong. Very strong, in fact. The damage, a tad bit high. A tad bit high. The itemization, affordable, and disruptive. Now, in this game, Canyon isn't exactly going to have Canyon impact. And the reason why it's nice to watch Canyon on the Zac here is purely because it's a different playstyle for him and it's a different meta. People still think it's a full clear meta. It isn't. It's not the best way to play the game anymore, and I will stand by this. You've seen it in a lot of the recent videos as well, from challenger and pro players alike. Well, less pro players, because they're kind of stubborn. Canyon, on the other hand, is doing a wolf start. Sorry, you have the runes on your screen now. Standard stuff, aftershock, inspiration, whatnot. He's going to go from wolves to blue to grub. Now, the issue here is, and he's pinging the red buff because of the leash and so on, he didn't ward the entrance here. This is very un-Canyon-like. Now, maybe he's a little fatigued from MSI and disappointed in the final results. The Gwen is a good champion that exists, totally balanced. In fact, you know, I can't finish that sentence. I hate this champion. Very strong against melee specifically. So she gets her first kill here on the Nocturne. That didn't stop her back for some reason. Canyon is doing this. He's leeching them together. He's getting super low. Actually, let me show you what he's doing. And then I'll get back to my point. He's leeching them together. He's getting super low. Now, against a Graves and a Nidalee, you might expect to be dismantled. Right now, they're going to come around the corner, hit you, and you die. So this is this is Canyon doing his limit testing for the new meta. We saw it with Viego stuff as well. Viego came out. He did a few things that are un-Canyon-like. He really pushes the limits of what he can do. The problem here is he didn't ward the red early. As I said, he didn't go back and get a scanner. The Hecarim level 1 walked into his jungle. Now if we reverse just a little bit, right? You see the Hecarim actually did show up here walking into the Zac. So Canyon goes over here to sort of, hey look, I'm starting blue side. The Hecarim knows this, right? In Challenger they're going to know this. So by the time he's done his blue side, the Hecarim can do one of those Rengar things where he does a full red side into an invade. Now, the Fiddlesticks trick, where you leech both of them together, or connect them together rather, is great and fast and healthy, but if you get invaded, you are screwed. Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. I'm going to place a ward right here and steal your red. Mid lane has Prior. Yes, as always, his mid lane is Showmaker, but Rumble has Prior because Rumble's a champion. Freak will be very happy with this mid-Rumble pick. Top also has Prior, and the Gwen, even though she got the first kill, has 4 CS. So the Nocturne's doing the work. And now, instead of whining and complaining and fighting, you know, like in low elo, maybe I'll do like a plat or something review about this, just to show you the differences. You know, the Hecarim's now just going to take everything. You have to assume he's going to take everything. And this is great jungling from the Hecarim. I know Zac started here, he must have, I saw him early. I'm just going to walk invade with my Prior and stop him. This is a very Canyon move. So what Canyon does is says, fine, I'm going to do this here, Scuttle Crab. I'm going to be full HP. And now, if you're going to constrict me to one quadrant, I'm going to obliterate your bottom lane. And that's the thing you must do, right? A lot of people like to say, oh, both flashes burn instantaneously. 9 out of 10 on the synchronization flashes. I did enjoy that. It was pleasing to watch. But what do you think you should do next? What would most of you do in this exact next moment? You guys probably go mid lane. You probably leave. No. Repeat gank. There's a wave crashing. You have an Alistar. Even the most low elo and inexperienced cow enthusiast would dive this. And you could dive it very easily. Yes, he dies, right? But juggling aggro in this situation with a minion wave isn't very difficult. And you're Zac, you have a passive. I'm seeing a lot of people complain about lane prio and dives and rotations. And honestly, the game is at a state where a lot of people are doing it way more than you think. But the point is, after this, right, double gank bottom lane. Why? He had nothing else to do. You know? Could he counter-jungle these Krugs? Yes. But at this point, he's basically saying, I'm against an omnivore, scaling, farming jungler, right? In the Hecarim. Here we go, cow mid. Combos. Very nice. gets stunned, burn the flash, Akali hits the E, goes back in. Galio rotates the counter gank. So pretty much, you know, the secondary junglers doing what they do. But the Hecarim now has basically said, red side, steal this, steal this. He can reset, gank top and whatnot, and then he can go back to his red side now. So what Canyon does is come out of base, go to his wolves. Now, we don't like spaghetti pathing. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, rotate. Woo. Very tight. So the Hecarim comes out of base and goes straight for the gank mid, which is great, right? So what Canyon does is, we don't like spaghetti pathing, but in Korea, Raptors are very heavily contested and taken away from you, especially in this early game. And if you lose them early, first rotation, second rotation, if you see a window to secure them, you shall. And the Nidalee in the Nidalee Differences video on the main channel did this as well. Wolves, hello, mid lane gank, took the Raptors to defend them versus counter jungling and then loop back to the Gromp before going bottom lane. Then use that to flex into counter jungling. And then of course you can go mid lane again or you can take the dragon. A nice flow to the pathing. Canyon's doing a similar thing here. He knows when these will be up, he has a timer. Let me yeet these off. But because Hecarim goes here, you want to rotate for the gank to counter. And you see him go down here. So what you want to do is while you have the moment, right? You have a little bit of time with the Alistar base. Showmaker's going to base. Let me take these Raptors. And now I can go back bottom side and gank bottom lane again. Because you guys like to always, people like to tweet about bot lane gap. Bot lane gap. Jungle diff and bot gap. That's the phrases, right? Those are the phrases rather. Yeah, who makes bot gap? If it's only 2v2 lane, 100% say your memes. But in this case, it's not actually kind of fair what you're gonna see Canyon do. So, nice way to spaghetti path here. Logical, makes sense. Get your experience, deny the counter jungling. You really don't have anywhere else to go. The Hecarim is basically saying, listen, I can't turbo steamroll over anyone anymore. Not nearly the way I want to. And look at this pathing. Look at this pathing. This is exquisite pathing. Let's look at the vision control. 99% this is always warded. 99% this is always warded. This is also always warded. You might have a ward here, but I would expect these 3 points to always be warded. So what he is doing is not actually going scanner here. He's keeping the vision control, which is interesting. I still think the scanner is better, especially for Zax, because for Zax, we want to do these long-range bombs, right? Long-range bombs from funny angles, even over here. You just want to make sure you're not seen. If you are seen, sad times. But this pathing is just, his pathing is just so good, man. I love watching it. The Fog of War knowledge he has, he ease over, hits the plant, goes into this one. He sees the Hecarim going up this way. So he knows directly that the Hecarim is thinking, haha, good sir, I'm stealing your stuff. I'm getting all the crabs in the world. And I'm gonna scale. And Zach is basically saying, because you're not a farmer, Canyon's just saying, fine, I'm gonna gank the whole time that you are doing that. And that's the thing about carrying with tank junglers. It's not your farming capability. If you're a Sejuani and you're a Zach and you have low KP and you're just AFK farming, it's ridiculous. Look at this. He's just chilling. The pathing means he's undetected. The bottom lane feels like they're safe. Now, if Galio shows up, obviously you can just leave, and you better leave quickly. But there we go. Now, also Fog of War here. Just, sorry to pause it again. I just want to show you the Fog of War. If you see the lane here, in this position, their vision extends up to this point. So you need to make sure you are right in this little nook and cranny of dark vision, all right? So I just needed to point that out. Because too many times junglers with Zac will go here, get spotted, and they're already backing away. The element of surprise is your surprise. So, hello bottom lane. Once again, I bid you bonjour, and I'm gonna slap you together. Them cheeks get clapped, as Zac likes to do, even though it's puny Zac. Jhin does stuff, push the wave out. Nocturne ults top lane. We see the Hecarim diving. That's great. We can assume it. He eased to cut off because there's a crashing wave. Perfectly done. Him and Alistar can do the same thing again. Beautiful. 3 ganks bottom lane. The Hecarim, in the meantime, has had 1 counter gank here and 1 dive top lane. Now, did you see what he did? He E'd from this to this. Now, let's actually see this, because the vision, again, the Fog of War. So, right? They think he's gone. They think he's gone. Now, watch this. They actually do see him. So, if he... Yeah, it's kind of tough. So if you want to do that, I like this, by the way. I like it a lot. If you want to do that, E to sort of like this area. and then you can stick to the wall tightly and get into the bush without being detected. As it stands, Zac was detected, but I want to see on the minimap. Let's just watch on the minimap, because if they're looking top lane, just stare at the minimap. Let's see. Does he get spotted on the minimap? Yeah, he does. Okay. So everything was visualized. Sometimes there's like a weird vision bug, but not in this case. So it should have been seen, but I love the idea. You know, you think Evelyn, Rengar's Twitches, this is our play, right? We just tentpole a lane. Do it with Zac as well. I have no idea why you cannot. Uses the minions to, again, once again, slap them together. He is just infusing experience into this bottom lane, and this is the best way to play, especially in the early game, if an invading jungler cuts you off from your supply of resources. Yeah, we can go for this as well. Nice disrupt with the E. Gets level 6 from it. Flashes out to avoid his passive getting triggered. Little baby Zac, but this is a new meta. You're watching Canyon, the king of farming, counter jungling, and using Prior to dismantle enemy junglers. Spam ganking because the enemy jungler is trying to do exactly the same thing to him. And you can do it now because the experience on the map is significantly less than it was. Rumble rotates bottom lane. Showmaker follows, the cow's back awake. The Rumble ult hits, Zac sticks around. You have to be... the Varus triggers the passive. But he's just gonna come back stronger, better, faster, and bigger, literally, in all cases. So he's just shadowing here to be present, but obviously if you're not Zac, leave. Please don't stick around a Varus with no HP. Now Hecarim says, alright, fine, I'm gonna try and gank, and you know, here we go. This is what Canyon does so well. He knows he's gonna show up, he knows he has the ult, he knows he can actually cut this off. Good patience. Perfect. Now he's down a hell of a lot of CS, right? 30 CS. But that doesn't matter, because if you look at the gold amounts, 3,600, 3,700, and that's all that matters. The experience is, of course, important, but the gold that he has given his bottom lane and himself it's insane, right? Now what you can do from this, great counter gank, great patience, just let the Rumble do his thing, pull together the Crab as well as the Dragon. We see Nocturne ult mid lane here, so what you should do is leave the Dragon and cut off and rotate up. That's great. If you're not needed, unfortunate, but rather make the play, right? Because Jin's mid, Showmaker's in base, and the Moo Cow is also retreating. So downtime on the map equals time to farm. Take the camps that you can actually secure, and when you see the Chihuahua top lane here, free Dragon, always. Always recognize that, and you've seen a lot in some of these videos. These high-elo junglers, especially in different regions, prioritize Herald over Drake. They prioritize different things, and they'll sort of delay it because, you know, if you're winning a game, you don't always need the Dragon, and you can take it whenever. And also, you delay sort of the Elder Dragon, Cryo, and things like this. It's not really a reason to do it, but it is what it is. I prefer just to make sure I get the soul, and I'll always be in control. Showmaker decides to rotate, snatches a kill. Zac again after Dragon. He goes mid. Now, look at this guy. Who is the jungle difference? And this is my point. This is my point. He's farming up a storm. He's ganking one lane, right? The Zac is spam ganking and really getting someone fed. He still has an objective. He's still farming decently well. You know, these are two different jungling styles. But why should the Hecarim, now say the Hecarim hadn't ganked, right? Hypothetically. In the old meta, say the Hecarim hadn't been ganking at all. He would be a high level up. He'd be like 2 levels up. Because 15, 30, 45 seconds of camp respawn time as you get to the second, third rotation. Why would he deserve that? It's unnatural, you know? So I feel like with the Nocturne again is mid lane. But Zac is here and ready to mingle? No. Ult? Let's see what we can actually see. Yeah, the Showmaker's getting caught out a little bit, and we had to give up any sort of herald there. Galio ults. See, we want to be careful here. We don't want to throw. The Gwen is flanking. That's pretty good. But again, I don't know if we want this fight. I think because Showmaker got caught out and killed, we can just leave. There's no real reason to hover around too much. We can just go back into this and into this. But Canyon knows what he's doing. The fake E. Bottom lane, dead. Well, you know, You can feed in ADC gold. You can't stop them dying to a Nocturne. I believe Einstein said that. Herald is used, plates are secured. This is fine. Now you think, oh, wow, equal in gold. It's just a different jungling style. Exactly right. Now, the concept here is Zac loses that 1v1 early with prior disadvantage. Canyon knows this. Rumble and Nocturne invaded his top side early. He's never going to be able to outfarm a Hecarim or something like this. But he is helping his team through his repetitive ganks, his great pathing, and, you know, getting that dragon. So, why? You know, let's just actually watch this and I'll finish what I was just going to say. Why to? Nice counter gank once again. This is a little greedy by the blue team here. Disruption from Zac, this is all you want. This is what the champion does. Peel, disrupt, and of course do Omega damage in the meantime. He's gone for the Frostfire, which is very common now because you get super big, you get more HP, and Zac always enjoys that. This is good. So, why in this situation, right, would Canyon, say he was down 2 levels, deserve to have less smite damage? And this is the argument for the smite change. Now, I think it was left field. I think, you know, as I talked about with Nice, you know, I'm basically sitting on the fence here looking at the one side and the other side, and I see both reasons, right? I do think it should have stayed the way it was, but I do agree that in situations like this with a low econ jungler, that because he played for the team, why does the team get punished by the Hecarim having more smite because he farmed more? You know, it's ridiculous. Either way, they're equal level anyway because of the change to the meta, and that's kind of my point. Like, it wasn't necessary. He's up a level now, actually, because we got a little bit of counter jungling in. And he can actually hold his own here to a degree, but I think Hecarim eventually is going to destroy him. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you think with Zac you're doing fine, and then Hecarim just starts to do the Divine Sundra thing. So this is Canyon limit testing? Maybe? Maybe not? Either way, he should have definitely gotten out. Nocturne ultimate again, Gwen's top lane. But yeah, hopefully you can see the difference here. You know, when you get invaded and people whine and die for these invades, just go and flex. Where can I make my impact felt next? Now they're greeting for the red buff invade, knowing that they have numbers. Let's see. We have Rumble ult from the stratosphere, landing down, zoning, and burning. So, never mind. Snip, 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 snip. Prowler's Claw, Alpha Varus. Yeah, so, you know, Rumble's still a great champion. That totally doesn't need to be nerfed with this cooldown ultimate. The ultimate cooldown, rather. Either nerf the damage or nerf the cooldown. Hey, Canyon, hold up, my bad. I'm thinking about Rumble and how it upsets me. So Canyon out of base here from his int. Canyon's int allowed this to happen. So as a jungler, you have to understand this is your problem, right? So as I said, Assassin Zac. Either backline, kill them up. We don't have passive right now, but we do have sustain. Can he get one more? That was close. If he gets one more blobby heal, maybe he can hold off until Alistair comes, but either way. So that's a little messy, you know? Like, they threw the gold lead. But it was very well done. That's what you want to do as Zac. Tilt a lane. Don't farm. Tilt a lane. Do 3-4 camp early. You can, of course, do 6 camp. You can do 5 camp. I understand that you can full clear. But there's no reason to do it if you can just turbo camp a lane, tilt them, and get someone so juiced that all you have to do is peel, engage, and disrupt for them. Now, Schoenberg isn't having the best game. Either on Akali here, Prestige again. The Rumble ult. And, doesn't matter, because Jhin does things, Akali does things, and they have a lead. Well, Jhin does. Significant lead, actually. Canyon's alive. Now, you could actually go for this dragon with the Zac dead. It seems like he loses it, so I'm actually intrigued. What happens here? They're chasing the Nocturne. He dies. He had to smite it to survive. Smite to live. Yeah, this is tragic from their team. They kind of sold Canyon out there. Nocturne ulting, most likely top lane. Let's have a look how it plays out. Gwen is great. You know, the W is just such a dumb ability. I think she's alright if you just completely nerf the hell out of that. But I don't really play too much top lane, so... Oh, that Hecarim ult just gets cut off at the last moment. She should still die, no? Get a Q off there. There you go. Right, Rumble bottom side. Overall, the game's kind of equal now. And the Jhin is ahead. And it's important to remember. People are going to say a lot of the time they'll look at OP.GGs and see, you know, Jhin did the most damage and Jhin had the most kills. You know, Canyon will have the highest kill participation or close to it. And he made the Jin, you know? He fed him, he bathed him, he changed the diapers when he complained, he got a dragon, and Jin's now fed. And that's our job for bottom lane. Trust me. Gank bottom lane, get them ahead, you'll enjoy a lot of free wins, especially if you cheese, because it's a double kill every time. You can do it with any jungler too. And if the enemy jungler's farming, trust me, in Platinum, Low Diamond, Below Master, you're winning the mental battle. Which is what solo queue is, it's a mental warfare. And the pathing from Canyon has been so good. So let's see. While our lanes are dead or not in position, we farm our camps as usual. Use your E max range to fling over walls. W second for a bit more faster clear, obviously more damage and so on. I do like the new Q, but when I played him, he had the old Q with the slow. It didn't slap cheeks, it just kind of slowed. But I'm really glad they kind of partially reverted him and put back in the old ult. Really like that. It's just so fun to flash disrupt and bouncy. It's a great champion. I'm gonna stop playing Zac again, aren't I? It's very strong. The damage is great. I think we should Herald here. This is just shadowing, looking for counter ganks. So we'll look and see how the engage works and how his team fighting is now. Okay, right, here we go. Pull off the objective. Nocturne goes in, Galio ults for positioning. Front to back here, because we've got multiple tanks, we've got a Jhin on the back line, and of course Akali can go in from whatever angle. He's trying to pull this out. They've warded it. I mean, he's trying to get this out. It's going to come down to a smite fight. Gwen isn't even in the fight. I mean, Rumble's dead too. I mean, that's important. So it's like a 4v4 straight up. So he gets it. There you go. 4v4, they don't trust to fight without Rumble, which means he gets it. Akali goes and kills the Squishy, who's out of position for no particular reason. Gwen has decided to TP top lane. We do have a Herald and 5 people top side. They're going to counter push mid lane here, Hecarim and the Varus. The cow's going to go back. It's time for Milkings. And the Rumble will be up in 2 seconds with TP, but I don't think he's going to do anything about it. And they're actually going to hold the Herald here to de-push the mid lane, which I think is fine. Because we have a dragon coming up at some point in the future. Ah, no! We're going for the total flank play. Problem is, if they all go back to base, you get nothing. Ah, he didn't go back to base. That hole on the map where the tower is usually kind of weird. Now we've got the TP in from the Rumble. He ults straight onto the Varus. Doesn't matter. Assassin Zac. The Warm exchange came in as well, right? So the Hecarim dives and kills the Akali. So both junglers just worrying about backline. The cow's out of position. Hecarim is strong once you get going, huh? Nocturne. Okay, we want to try and peel this as much as possible. Yep, perfect. Perfect. Pick up your blobbies always to get healings. Wait for your E. Go back in. And if Jhin can just do free damage. Oh, that flash Q was beautiful. That flash Q was excellent. And you've got your blobbies. So he'll come back to life. Bigger. Better. Stronger. Faster. Well, not faster, technically. We could have stopped after the last one. Herald is activated. Now, you will see a lot of times people try and go for Barons here, but I think if you have a kind of close game where it's about tempo in the mid to late game, specifically macro-wise, pushing these waves out with Herald even, I mean, the timer might be expiring, taking their camps. If he overpushes here, just kill him. The Prowler's Claw into the minion wave. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Kill him before the Galio. Ah, they could not. The Q's gonna come. Yeah, okay. A little over-aggressive. Rumble again. Galio frontline. So they actually could give away they're gonna lose a dragon for this, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let that play out. What I was gonna say is, after those fights where you make a pick here and you're able to do the nice outplay, push the waves out. You know, Jhin wanted to reset and leave anyway. Take his cams, you know, you can go back to base and now you can do your blue side, get wards, and control the dragon. Jhin actually shows up big here, let's see. So Showmaker gets out. From what it looks like, yeah. The Jhin just kills the enemy ADC, but Nocturne! Nothing you can do about that. Hecarim is beefy. Gwen, champion? No. You too can throw in your games. Simply take these fights and lose. So, they'll lose a dragon for that, but at least they stop the Baron. If this is the case, please don't go 50-50 it, because if you die, they're just going to Baron and you're going to lose more. Push the waves, take your camps, wait for your team to regroup. He's got the stopwatch there. Actually, he didn't even have inspiration. I lied. At the beginning. I didn't mean, I said inspiration, but I meant sorcery. Inspiration is normally what you would go. I do like the cosmic insight and the booties on Zac, but he's gone for a little bit of the damage, which I think is great as well. This is a really great rune set. I'll edit the beginning to reflect my misspeak. But back in the day, I remember we would go Cinder Hulk, you'd have Warmogs, you'd have your Spirit Visage and an AD item, and then you'd just go something like Leandri's Last. And that was back in Season 5, just because the percentage damage with Zac, the burn while you exist, is just so great. In this new day and age, we have the updated Warmog's armor. Expert is enjoying that on Shen, Rush, with the bonus shield now on his ultimate. And then, of course, Frostfire gives you some slows, health size, we always enjoy that. And then, of course, you can go Zhonya's. And I think Zhonya Zac is something very interesting because it's almost like the old Aatrox, where you'd have Revive, and you would have GA, and you sort of keep sustaining between the fights so you don't die. And that's essentially what you want from Zac as well. You just don't want to die, which is why he's so strong. Now, the Canyon's deaths are all kind of semi-intier. Right. Back to the fight after we talked about Zac builds. Everything in the middle. Right, this is the time for Zac to go in. Disrupt and ult. Disrupt and ult. Let your backline survive. Keep them alive if you can. See, the Jhin gets exhausted as well, but it's fine. It's fine. Keep everything away from the Jhin. That's all we're trying to do here. The stopwatch there is buying time. All it does is buy time. Keep up picking your blobbies. Buy time. Alright? It's going to get a little difficult here, but we can stitch it together with the Raptors. Nicely done. E back in. Keep Jhin alive. Stay between the enemy team and the Jhin. That's your job. That's fine. That looked like a drastically lost fight. If you played that badly as Zac, the Jhin dies and you lose Baron, you can actually lose the game here. But you see, because of how well Jhin played it, as well as the Cow and Zac, now they can reverse, chase it down, and of course, Showmaker's back in the fight here, so we weren't paying attention to the Akali. Well done. That's Baron. And that's what you're looking to do with Zac, ladies and gentlemen. If you're on the Baron here, the Akali and the rest of your team can zone. That's fine, they don't really need you. You just stick onto it with the Yin, and you do your stuff. Perfect. Well played. Now we can get our Zhonya's. Just sit on the Bramble Vest on the Zhonya's. He's basically just disrespecting the AP damage from the Rumble because, you know, it's going to kill him anyway. And the Warmogs will give him that regeneration after he's taken that damage. And of course, because he keeps healing himself, I do think here you could argue, logically you'd have a Thornmail and Spirit Visage rather than the Zhonya's, but because they're so far ahead and his rune set, and the fact that he has the Warmogs for regeneration as well, it means you can just sort of, you don't need it, right? Look at him. That's just fun, man. That's just fun. Waiting for the Warmogs and replenish. But yeah, I mean, this is a really nice game to show you that how jungle gap can create bot gap. And if you have an unfortunate lane disadvantage in these solo lanes, right? Top lane, mid lane, and you get invaded, it's not the end of the world. And you don't need to AFK farm a Zac. Just go look for those cheeses, dives, use great pathing, great angles to gank, get your bot lane fed, and then make sure you're there for objectives. And obviously, limit test a little bit, but don't limit test as much as Canyon. He is Canyon, he can do it. You can too, not diminishing your abilities, but you're also simultaneously not Canyon. So, tread lightly. And don't int over here and over here. That's just silly stuff. You will throw games drastically in higher elo because your teammates won't have the same teamfighting mechanics. But well played to Canyon, as always. Nice to see Zac really strong. He's blown himself up absolutely huge. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're able to enjoy and learn something. Don't forget to, like, share, comment if you did. Best junglers for the new patches on the secondary channel. Coaching links are in the description. Tempo videos also on the main channel if you need sort of clarification on what that is and how it works. And may your beards this weekend be blessed. And I will see you all in the next tutorial.